What does architecture mean to you? At its most basic idea, architecture is the art and science of shaping space. This shaping of space can happen at multiple scales: the scale of a room, a building, and even the scale of a city. And if you buy into the fundamental idea that architecture is essentially the practice of shaping space, then architecture itself is a very powerful tool. Space is something we all perceive, we all occupy, and we all negotiate it on a daily basis. And although space may be defined differently across cultural, socioeconomic, and political boundaries, we all attempt to tame and reshape space, even if it's just how you reposition your chair within a room. And because of that, I believe architecture has great power. And with great power comes great responsibility. When and what got you interested in architecture? Actually, it was my mom who got me interested into architecture, and I don't think she did it intentionally. I was in the 6th grade and our family was growing, and because of that we needed a larger home, and my stepfather would have to work on Sundays, and so since he worked on Sundays, he charged me with accompanying my mom to visit open homes on Sunday. And so that's what my mom and I did. Every Sunday we would go and visit as many open houses as we can find. And during that process we would always discuss what we liked about certain homes, what we didn't like, and if we could change something in the house to make it better to accommodate our family, what would we change? And so I enjoyed this process, and to the point where I would collect the open home brochures, and I would grab me some computer paper, sit at the kitchen table, and I would just start drawing different facades of different homes, and I would present them to my mom and ask her, would you live in this house or would you live in that house? And so she would look at them and she would give me her critique, and I would take that and I would revise the drawing, and I would just repeat this process. And finally one day I asked her, who are those people that actually design homes for a living? And she told me they were architects. And ever since that day my mom planted the seed, and it's evolved into me chasing after and living in my dream. Where do you see architecture in the future? In the future, I see architecture evolving greatly. In fact, I think a dramatic evolution is required if architects are to remain relevant in an increasingly connected and digitized world where artificial intelligence is available and ready to be deployed into every sector of the economy. I think architecture has to evolve, particularly in America, because the majority is no longer the plurality, and the consequence for not having enough diverse voices at the table can be lethal. And finally, I think architecture has to evolve because our relevancy is on the line. We can no longer sit behind a desk and draw, but we have to learn how to walk and chew gum at the same time. We need to be real estate developers. We need to be construction managers. We need to be public health advocates, and we even need to be politicians. Because if we don't, architects will be distinguished only by our thunderous silence and complete irrelevance.
Peace!